I'm not the one who made this mission, so I can say this, but this is the best mission in the game.
Ooh.
It's my
Ooh.
genuine opinion that this is the best mission that we have made in the game. Far From Home, it's made by Chopmist. It's amazing. I really, really like it. I think he did an amazing job on it.
Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good night, wherever you are. Welcome to another Imperator Realm stream. As always, I'm your community manager, Troy, and back with me again this week is Joachim. We are plowing through this Macedon campaign that we've been working on for a while. For those of you that haven't joined us before, or haven't joined us in a while, we are doing a Macedon stream game, so we are working on getting all of the little territories around us handled, making sure that Thrace isn't bullying us too bad, and just generally enjoying life in the Mediterranean, as it were. So, Joachim, say hello to everyone.
Hello, I am Joachim. I'm a content designer on Imperator Realm, and I work at Stockholm.
Yeah. So
well, now I'm actually mostly working at home, but usually in Stockholm.
You know, all those health precautions and all that. But, yes, hello, greetings, welcome. The last time we were here, we had kind of blundered around Sparta a few times, which was interesting because it started depopulating countries, and we're trying to take care of that, as it were. A couple sessions ago, we did start with Thrace. We thrashed Thrace pretty good. They, however, formed a peace alliance before we got a chance to conquer them, so we decided to focus our attentions elsewhere. Now we are working on making sure that this peninsula is ours, conquered, handled, taken care of, and then we'll move on. For those of you in the community that haven't seen all the new stuff, we are working on 2.0, and that is going to be out as soon as we're able to make it as solid and wonderful and functional as possible. The closer we get to that release date, I will let you all know as soon as we have a concrete release date for that, and make sure you tune in to our streams, check out our dev diaries on the forums, and if you haven't already, we do have a lot of sneak peeks and features from what's coming up in the future updates in our dev diaries from all of our wonderful dev team, so make sure you head over to the forums and check those out if you haven't seen them already, or if you just want to look at them again. I'm not going to tell you what you can and can't do with your day.
Yeah, no. I see someone asking about a 2.0 build, and it's like, I would have loved to show you, but it's not really ready yet. I mean, it's like very work in progress, right?
Yeah.
I think the people who've been working on the UI updates has done a fantastic job, but it is massive, right? You have to change everything, so it takes a lot of time.
Yep, and I know they're hard at work at it. Who knows? Maybe in a future stream, once we get closer and we have more of a solid build, maybe we'll show you guys. But for right now, it's definitely not ready. Still in the early stages of development. Don't worry, it's still going to be the same Imperator that you know and love. We're just going to improve it and make it better. It's still going to be Rome. We're still going to be the mighty empire that we are. So while it will be better and more fun and more polished and more refined, it's still going to be that same great flavor that you know and love.
So now at the last session I was planning to start a war with Megalopolis.
Yes.
And they have sort of allied with the clusters of small states in Arcadia.
Oh, that's fine.
The mountain area.
This is fine.
So I was planning to sort of put these men up here,
right,
split this army in 2 seconds, sort of take down both of these at the same time, and hopefully crush their armies. And I think it's going to work out just fine.
Let's go.
We're sort of, we're sort of in the bully the miners phase right now. So
exactly.
Don't take that out of context, please. That's going to sound weird if I.
That was really poor phrasing, sir.
I mean, I didn't think about it before I said it, and then it's like, oh no, that's not something you should say. But there you go.
We're doing what Macedon does. That's
miners.
That's the yes, exactly. They see the army marching in, and they're like, "Oh no, it's Macedon. How about you, Macedont?"
This reminds me of Jake's joke at the original stream for the dev clash for the game, where Peter kept sort of expanding, and he called it Massalong. And I don't know why, but I find it so funny whenever he said that. It just cracked me up so much. So, good times.
Oh no. Oh no. Goodbye. I love it. I love watching these like clearly inferior armies try to clash with like huge, just monster armies, and they're like, "Haha, we'll show you," and it never turns out well.
It is sort of brutal, right? It doesn't look good for them at all.
Yeah.
They've actually sort of managed to gather up a sizable army, though. But it's like we have so many more. Yeah, now we have so many more troops than they do.
I mean, this might be interesting if they decide they want to push in on us on the north side, but we'll see. We'll see.
I think it's going to be all right.
Spread of ISIS. I mean, we don't really.
Let's see.
I mean, I guess, but
an Egyptian ship has docked at a port in our city of Corinthos, carrying a priest of the ISIS cult amongst its cargo.
Meh. Meh. I mean, I don't really want to lose popularity at this point, and that does give us population happiness. So.
It does. It will also convert a couple of people to Chemeticism, but I don't think I actually mind that much.
That's what I was going to say. I don't think it's really that big of a deal.
We lose some stability, but we're actually doing quite fine on stability in general.
Yeah.
So I think it's actually not too terrible. I know, because I wrote this event and its follow-ups, I know they can have some downsides in the long term, but then again, we can also just sort of toss them out later on. I sort of started another, I said last time that I hated that they sort of left the war.
Started another war.
So I figured I'd just drop by and make sure that they're now ours. I figured that was a good way of doing it.
Knock, knock, neighbor. Do you have a cup of sugar? Maybe your entire country.
Terrible contributions. Our officials in the province of Tesla reported that they have been approached by some of the petty landowners of the area.
Oh my god, look at us now.
Grain and other fare.
Wait, hold on. Look at us now. We have like a little robe and a little sash. Look at us. We're actually a real leader instead of just a baby in swaddling cloth. It's amazing. Look at us.
Yeah.
Look at us. We're a real boy now.
No, we're looking like a real person rather than just like this.
It's amazing.
Let's see. Province of Tesla loses 10 loyalty. I think that's going to be alright. They're at 100, so
yeah, who cares?
I don't care about that. But do you want to sort of leave it there? I mean, we sort of took all of the area, right?
Well, do you want to? Do we want to try and get Thrace? Did we want to try and go for Thrace again?
I don't know. It's sort of like I don't think it's going to be like a battle that's going to be hard to win.
Right. And
it's just going to be sort of time consuming. I think. I don't think that's going to be necessarily the best streaming material.
Right. So we had we had asked last week what ideas we had for our upcoming streams and for our upcoming playthroughs. Did you have anything that you wanted to do? I know we had discussed it, but was there anything you wanted to possibly ask chat? Or?
No, I thought we could sort of jump back to the main menu and we could look at a couple of interesting starts.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, guys. Well, we did it. We Macedoned all the way through Macedon.
I completely forgot to save. Well, the save is now dead. It's done. We're done with it. We don't have to look back. We're not the people who look back. We only look forward, right? So it's fine.
Yeah, we only towards the future. And yes, that's one of those interesting things, right? With like the thumbs down, thumbs up thing. Everyone thought that like, yeah, you did good, or boo, you did bad. When in reality, it was like, yeah, that's enough, and yeah, you can die now. That's good.
I mean, it's all about perspective, right?
Yeah, it is. So yeah, welcome to the October
Imperator
450
world map. There you go.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I'm going to be honest and say that I'm very biased. I have a tendency to play small nations.
Yeah.
So now that I'm going to talk a bit about nations I like to play, you're going to see that it's mostly going to be fairly small nations. So the first one I figure we could take a look at, I'm going to actually jump into the game instead of just being on the world map, because I sort of like, seeing the situation rather than just seeing it from here.
Right.
So it will take a little bit of extra time. But hopefully it means, we can do a little bit of talking.
Hey, man, if you got some things to talk about, I'm all about it.
Yeah, now the first one I wanted to talk about was these guys. So not only do they have the sweetest flag,
yeah,
look at this little thing, right? It's like the coolest little bird thing that's like, come at me, bro. Yeah. I'm just imagining it saying it, so it makes me so happy.
Sergio is pretty rad, though.
Importantly, it is... originally, it was part of the Gallic culture group, but now it's part of what do they call this? Pannonian culture group, which is like Eastern Gallics.
Right.
The Celts on the eastern side, because Celts started sort of pushing downwards, right?
Right.
About 20 years after I started, if I recall correctly, there was this huge invasion, the Galatian invasion of the whole area here, where sort of Galatians invaded the area. And we have added in the game that if you are Gallic, or if you are
form Galatia,
Pannonian, you can form Galatia, which is this area. There's several, like, all of the Gallic and the Pannonian nations can do it, but I like doing it as
the
Sodia.
smallest, the babbiest.
It is close, and I sort of think it's nice because you have like only these 3 provinces.
Right.
I sort of like being small, and then it's easy to sort of bring all of them into one, and then sort of move from there and be like a migratory tribe that sort of focuses on this area.
Right.
Because there's some easy picking here, and you can sort of grab more pops, and it's like a good start. That it's not a good streaming start, because it's going to take about 20 years before you can even really go for it.
How
because
boring.
You sort of need to remove your centralization, so you have to be like, okay, look at the anti-centralization, like decentralization laws, and then sort of go from there. So it's going to actually take a time if you're not lucky with like events and stuff like that. So it's not like interesting to watch, but it's like if I'm playing on my own, I don't mind spending some time just sitting there, sort of brewing, do my thing. So
yes, 20 years of streaming. That's going to take us 20 years on stream to do it.
I mean, we do have a tendency to spend a lot of time on nothing. So yes,
we really do.
I mean, you can sort of like take the areas around here. Yeah, I know it's called territories in game, but I'm using the scripting language, and it's called provinces in scripting, so people will have to deal with it.
Nomenclature is important, Joachim.
I was opposed to the territories thing in the first place when we named it. I'm not going to say anything. We can call it settlements. I can make that compromise. So there's 3 settlements, and it's like, I think that's an interesting thing, and then you have to sort of see if you can build up enough momentum to see if you can actually beat whoever's down here, if the Antigonids are still a thing.
Yeah.
This is sadly probably going to be a lot easier in 2.0, but that's a whole other thing.
Right. Not that large empires have a tendency to collapse under their own weight or anything.
I mean, I'm not going to go into too many details, but Antigonids are in for a bad time.
Spoilers.
I think these guys are pretty interesting. Sort of focus on decentralization, sort of focusing on not being eaten by the guys around you, and then prepare to sort of, migrate your way down there and see if you can form Galatia.
Yeah.
Not interesting to start from a streaming perspective, but I think it's interesting just to play in general. The next one I wanted to look at is Massalia. It's sort of like a known one.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people know about that one. It's like a famous name, right? In Roman history, they had like a friendship with Massalia. You've heard about the place. But I'm going to
also the streaming cat flag is really.
I'm not the one who made this mission, so I can say this, but this is the best mission in the game. It's my genuine opinion that this is the best mission that we have made in the game. Far From Home, it's made by Chopmist. It's amazing. I really, really like it. I think it did an amazing job on it. It's basically a mission for all of like the Greek nations that's sort of on the western side of the map. So you have Massalia, you have Emporion, you have Hemeroscopion down here, and you have Meneste over there. So you have like all of these are like small like Greek trading cities, right?
Yep.
Because they had a tendency to sort of colonize everything. I think that you get this mission. It's really fun. You're a Greek nation, and there's, like you can see, there's no other Greeks around you. They are mostly Gallic or Italic, right? So you sort of have to get used to not having like a lot of pops or anything around you.
Yeah.
I think it's actually a really cool start. They don't really have any cool decisions,
right?
Like we had down there, but I think it's still a cool start just from the missions. I can also look at it because why not? Oh wow, I did not expect this though. This, why? I think I need to have a talk with someone after I've now I've been praising it and everything. It's like, what is this horizontal? Oh no, what have we done? Right? It's
yeah. This is your
yeah,
fault.
No,
it's your fault.
I don't exactly remember where it was. I believe it was in this area where you had a city named Fokia, which is sort of where a lot of these trading nations came from, right?
Right.
So you can become Fokia again if you actually do the right things. So that's sort of cool. The next one I want to look at was Norica. It's sort of like this. It's sort of like in a sea of just other tribes, right? So they don't really stick out that much.
Right.
But yeah, no, I sort of like them. I also like the other Norican tribes in general. I sort of think they're sort of cool. You have the no, this is not right screen. This is right screen. You can have the Noricum, which is sort of become, just form the nation, like the tag, right? And it's sort of difficult because this area is not really easy to take. It's a little bit of a hairy process. And there's also, in both of these two provinces, you have this, which is Noric Steel, which gives you a bunch of iron for almost nothing. So you get them really cheaply. So it's if you manage to sort of start here, it's a very good start just for a game in general. And I actually think it's sort of fun. It's sort of I don't know. I sort of like the notion of oh, you have this Alp nation that is coming down from the Alps and just eating things like this swarm of locusts. The next one, I figure we can sort of look at these two. They're sort of I sort of mentioned them earlier with Menace Day being one of the Greek ones, and then you have Gadir, which is a tiny Punic nation that's sort of right next to Carthage.
Hanging out.
The big Punic nation.
Just hanging out.
So it's sort of interesting, right? Because you have to sort of. It's almost like a puzzle. It's how do I manage to sort of get out of this situation without getting completely screwed over by either Turdetania or Carthage?
Right.
Because both of them are sort of scary. And after I added this passing right down here, Tartessia is also very, pretty scary because now they can just pass right over.
Yeah.
In the past, they sort of were blocked by Turdetania, so they couldn't really do that much.
One of those always capture Australia and risk kind of strategies.
Yes. Sadly, I have not given this much thought when I added this passing, but I think I just made one of my favorite starts a whole lot harder. Ooh. And yeah, no, I guess that's going to backfire on me, sadly.
You've done this to yourself. I'm sorry.
And the last one, there's no particular decisions or anything here. I think it's just sort of the start, right? It's sort of like I said earlier, I like having the difficult small starts where you're a very small nation and you sort of have to puzzle out, okay, how am I going to beat the bigger ones? How am I going to either survive or befriend them or ally them, or how am I going to sort of stick around for long enough to become big enough to actually do something? So it's not something you can really do secured. I don't think you can start here and be okay, I have the perfect strategy to always get out of this, because there's always a certain chance that something is going to go wrong, right? So it's also probably not a good streaming start, because you sort of start and then Carthage goes, hey, we have 30 troops and we're just going to land right in your lands. How do you feel about that? And I'm just yeah, I feel like I'm dead now. And you probably are, right? So it's not it's not a safe start.
Yeah, so where do we want to start? What do we want to do?
So
do we want to leave this up for a chat, or
is these guys over here?
Ooh,
What is the? I mean, I guess it doesn't look too bad. 9 Marshall, 9 Crisp. I can live with that. So what I was thinking was, unite Armorica, which is sort of the little place up here. There's also form goal. That's everything. That's a little bit big and probably not something you can pull off fairly quickly. But yeah, no, I think we could sort of look at Armorica.
We can do it.
It's sort of I'm very comfortable when you have a nation that is sort of backed up by something, right? It's you don't go left, you don't go up or down, you just sort of go down right. That's sort of what you do. It's sort of focus on one direction. I find that very comfortable. So what we probably want to do is that we want to grab some allies fairly early on. I usually want to grab these guys. It's because then we can sort of focus on eating these guys first, right? It's we can sort of grow to the size where we're the biggest bull in the play yard. It's these guys have 54 pops. we have 47. So they like, you know, they're a little bit bigger than us. But none of the other here are really like actually like a real threat unless they start to group up. So
yeah. Make sure we don't do that thing.
I think we're just going to start off by disbanding these guys because I don't want them. I don't want the ships. I want to just stick on land. One thing I have noticed is I don't know why our capital is here when our biggest place with a port is over there. It seems like a content designer, I'm not going to mention names because it would make me look bad, has done a bad job.
Don't do that. Nobody goes under the bus today.
We don't talk about that. That's,
leave them alone.
Actually, I like...
Leave Brittany alone.
That reminds me, I don't know what trade goods we have up here. We have base metals galore, apparently.
Yeah, got base metals and fish.
And some amber and hemp.
Woad.
And
Woad's not bad.
Right, so we get basically like this, and the area we hold is like is the area. All right, that's fine.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. What are our armies?
What are armies?
You know, what are they really? I think we're going to grab the little unit from you. We're also going... I don't really like chariots. I find them to be very dumb.
Yes, especially like if we get into difficult terrain. It's just like, well, here we are.
This is our life now. I think I'm actually going to grab this for the tribesman happiness. I mean, what else would I want to do, right? Than to make my people happy.
Well, conquer the world, of course.
I'm also going to admit that it's just a little bit weird. Sort of, you know, I'm sort of looking at this map and it's like, Peter has made more changes just to the political map as well. And I'm sort of looking at it, I'm like, this isn't familiar anymore. You know, you get sort of used to everything, right?
Yep. And then when a little change happens, you're like, oh no, everything's worse.
I completely forgot because we had to start a time. Oh, they want to be allies. Sure.
Yes, do the thing, and no.
No, I don't think we want to be allies with you. That's weird.
Yeah.
I should have not started the time, but I did, and that is sad. But it's it is alright. I'll figure this out. Right to defensive league, and you guys, maybe we can grab you as well, so we can have like a ongoing thing.
Do it. Do
now
it.
Have, like...
all these friends. Come on, friends. We're definitely not going to declare war on somebody immediately.
And let's see, you don't look particularly popular, so we're just going to fabricate a claim on you right away.
Hello. Hello, random man. You are now our scapegoat. Enjoy your life.
Hello, it seems like you are in for an, you know, an eating.
Nom. Look,
let's see.
We all know I have terrible movie knowledge, so...
Someone will like us and we get a little bit of prominence. I think that's fine. I think that is fine.
This is fine. Everything's fine.
I'm sort of considering this just for popularity. I
mean, if we're trying to get allies to help us pincer in some other, you know, tribes, then that's probably our best bet.
Let's go for it. And
the most popular man.
We didn't really get them as allies. We have these guys as allies. We have these guys as allies. But we don't really need more either, so I think that's fine. I think we'll just wait out for this and then hope these guys don't get too many allies.
It's fine.
They didn't.
No, they should.
We have like these three. I think we can win that. I think we're also going to... let's see.
Ooh.
Have long been proponents of reducing the central authority of Osismia. They argue that for far too long our people have moved to larger villages and cities like Vorgum, forsaking our old ways in smaller towns. Coilus argues that we need to repopulate all the land we have left behind, as our traditions are closely connected to these tracts and villages. Many have already started backing his thoughts. Are they only out to cause trouble, or do we want some centralization?
Let's go with...
Actually, this...
Yeah.
I think we can grab this and, you know, accept that. But I'm sort of curious if we should look at maybe grabbing some centralization here. I'm not really planning to be, a migratory tribe, so
Right.
just getting more centralization is probably just fine. You don't really trade lots. I'm thinking of just getting the civ
minting.
change straight up.
Yeah.
I think that's
sounds like our better bet, especially if you're not going to be doing a lot of trading. Like, there's no real need to get barter up.
We are going to lose some political influence from it, but we don't really need it yet because we're sort of using it on this claim.
Yeah.
But it means we're going to fight these guys as well, and that's going to take a time. So
yes, exactly.
We're going to get it back by the time if we need to make more claims, probably. So the question is, we're going to take a stab hit. We're going to lose 15 stability and 35 political influence. Right. The question is, which ones do we want the most? Do we want the civ change or do we want the popularity? I don't really care that much about civ. It's sort of nice as an extra thing, but it's not really. Chat. I mean, sure.
Yeah. All right, chat. What do you think? Are we going with the coin minting initiative or absolute authority? Let us know.
I know which one appeals to me just by the name. It's like absolute authority. There's something, right sounding about that if you're a tyrant.
Yeah, no joke there.
I do like being minted. I'm not sure you can say that. I don't think that's safe for work.
Maybe not safe for work. Maybe straight, but maybe not work.
I don't see a lot of responses, but I don't really know how long.
That's okay. Yeah, we've got, I think it's like an 8-second delay. It's not terrible, but it's not, immediate.
Yeah. Yeah, because, I sort of see whenever we start the stream, it's sort of like, I see you start talking on my right, and then it's still like the Paradox logo and everything on the left, right? It's like.
Well, we got 2 for absolute authority so far.
I guess we're going for absolute authority then. Simple as that.
Done and done. Absolute authority it is.
I mean, I think popularity is sort of the way to go in general.
It is. Yeah, I think so as well. Especially this early in the game, we want to be more popular. It doesn't matter later on. We have
1.4 a month, and these cost. I think we can grab 3 light cavalry. I sort of like light cav.
Yeah, because right now we've got chariots and archers. So.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
And then I hope that sort of like this army is going to be big enough to sort of beat one of their armies before they can respond too much.
Right.
And yeah. Hopefully these guys aren't going to be too busy in any other wars, so they can help us out.
I mean, this early
I would really like having these guys though, which is it sort of annoys me. I can't. Or can I?
Improve relations.
I'm sort of leaning. Can I sort of convince you?
Yep. Wait, right now they're at negative 50. Woof. Way to start out a game.
I mean, they are plus 35, but they're sort of they're skeptical, I guess. I think we're just going to see what happens.
Hello, and we are your friends. Please love us.
We're just going to see what happens by the time we reach next year, and then we're going to see what happens. Famous last words, huh?
Exactly. We just doomed our entire run. It was a good run. Goodbye, everyone.
I mean, it's sort of like, it's a sad fact that when you play a tribe, these things can really backfire, right? Because it's like, there's so many small ones all over the place. It's like these patchworks of alliances and defensive leagues. If you hit the wrong person at the wrong time, it can easily be like they just stomp right over you, and they're like, "Oh yeah, no, you're dead now."
Yep.
And it's like, okay, I guess I'm dead now. I guess that's how things are.
Dear Diary, day number 427 got steamrolled by a local tribe.
What I probably also can do is leave the defensive league and then probably have enough to actually sort of get them to join.
Yeah, that's risky, but possible.
Yeah, I mean, no risk, no reward, though.
Well, yeah, that's true.
You have to live on the edge. We're like, we're literally on the edge.
Literally on the edge.
We're like edge barbarians.
We are.
Like,
I mean, you know what they say, right? When you're stuck in the middle of nowhere, you know where you go? To the edge of nowhere.
These things are so bad, and yet I appreciate them nonetheless.
Ryan, you're all welcome for my terrible humor. That's my gift to you.
Oh, you're actually going in. That's very bold of you.
Ooh. They're diving. All of them are diving. Look at this.
They're going to eat you.
This is interesting. Hi, new friends. I've got some
Hello.
just
You seem to have,
terrible news. Some really bad news.
So now you guys can fight over here, and I'm just going to focus on taking this area.
Yeah.
Good for me, sad for you. Are you going to make 1 million plus DLCs for this game too?
We were planning on 5 million.
Yeah, I mean it's sort of sad not to beat the previous number, right? So you always have to sort of hit, go higher and higher.
Reach for the stars, as it were.
I mean, I think Peter has already talked about our DLC policies in the past in some couple of old Dev Diaries. Though I don't remember what he said, so I'm not going to try and...
Yeah, no, probably not best to speak on that. No, our DLC planning is very strategic. It's not just pump out as much DLC as we can get. Each piece of content that we release is very much discussed and planned far in advance and fits with the overall structure. That's as much as I, the community manager, would be comfortable saying without stepping on the toes of our wonderful development team.
Whereas I can tell you that I'm part of the planning, and it makes me sad that I have to do that.
Yeah, I can do that.
No, it is actually quite a... you do spend a lot of time on a lot of different things, right? It's sort of like, oh, you need art references for something. Okay, I guess you need to sort of, scour the internet for art references.
Yep.
And then you spend a lot of time on doing that, and it's like, okay, what sort of missions are you going to make, or events are you going to make, or whatever? What else are you going to make? What Republican parties are you going to make? It's like planning and planning and planning and planning, and then doing all the things, and it's just ends up taking a lot of time. But
he found a lot of friends.
Oh yes, he did. I see that my friends are sort of in the area still, but.
Maybe
let's hope that these guys stand there and these guys go up here. If they're split up, that's just fine with me.
Yeah, exactly.
Bulgios, a man of sound reputation and Docarius, a nobleman of great virtue, have recently started to spar furiously, whilst attending the clan council. Such behavior is unbecoming of these people of stature. However, we have been called upon to take a side in this latest conflict. These people of stature, I mean, they're like...
They're not that statured.
No, it's like you have if you have these things on, right? I'm not going to say too much about fashion, because honestly, most of the clothes I have is given to me by Paradox by this point.
Yes, yeah, most of mine.
Sorry. You have like the weird mustache and this. You're not stature in my eyes. I'm afraid.
It's like 22-year-old Gallic Charles Bronson. Like, what's going on here?
So I'm going to just tell them to stop bickering and grab the popularity. You can both be unhappy with me. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
14. All right, here we go. Get some good rolls. Let's go good rolls.
So where is my they're over here, away from where all of the enemy troops are. Ha, that's great. And now there's a fight going on. That's not what I hoped for.
Well, at least it's a small fight. It's not one of the big fights, which would have been kind of bad, but...
So apparently we killed 950 troops.
Wow. And lost 29.
Instantly. I'm not entirely sure why.
Wow.
Alright, okay, cool.
Oof.
If you can join the fight, that is cool.
No, I don't think we need it. I don't... Maybe... I don't think we need it, but it would be nice.
I think it's actually going to work out for us. Now it's definitely going to work out for us.
I definitely need bears. Yes, chat. I need bears. We need to make this happen.
If Troy has bears, I'm sure that they also rule.
Yes.
I feel like I missed some important...
Yeah, I don't have bears. That's what you're missing.
I see. So where's your bears, Troy?
I need more bears. Yeah, I left my bear troop there.
There's no bears in
some
Texas,
grizzlies,
though,
some Kodiaks. Yeah, there's, no, there aren't any bears in Texas. Well, there are bears in Texas, but they're like in the west part of Texas. Well, they're brown bears, brown bears and black bears in Big Bend. So you don't see a lot of them. They're pretty reclusive, but there are bears in Big Bend.
There's no bears in Texas after you left.
Yeah, I know. I'm here.
All that from a type of beer. Yeah, no, we're grabbing whatever we can.
Yeah, welcome to chat. Everything that happens, happens. There's no takebacks.
Even if you correct yourself, it's too late. It has been said.
Yeah, exactly.
live with your shame or something. But actually, this war is
Embrace.
actually going quite well, even
It
though
is.
they have quite a lot of troops over there.
Well, they split off like 2 little armies and sent them against us, and then had really poor reinforcement timing, and we just stomped both of them.
So you remember how last time I was gentle? Should I still be gentle?
I
or
mean,
am I more barbarian
I'd say we're more barbaric now, but
I mean, do we get a lot out of it? Is the real question.
No,
We get
not
a little
really.
bit of money. It's like,
It's not
see,
a
if we
lot,
had gotten
no.
if we had
yeah, like
gotten like a
100.
lot of money,
Yeah.
I would be like all for it. But it's like, oh, you can get 10 more for killing pops. That's
yeah,
not going to be
let the
long run.
looting be gentle.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that we try to be nice now. It's just there's no point in not doing
There's
it.
no, yeah,
Like,
it's not like we're gaining anything for it. That's faux show.
lack of because I don't have that. Okay, I guess we're going home then.
Huh, look at
There
the
we go.
time. Gotta go home. Sorry, everybody. Thanks for coming out. Just walk back across the border.
You know, no food, and I'm not going to drain through my manpower
No.
because of that.
No, we are not doing that. We're going home. We're taking our ball and we're going home.
Are you going
they
to sort of
lost.
trickle in way too late now and lose all
Yes.
your man?
Oh,
Yeah,
nope. They caught it. They barely caught it.
I
If
don't
they
think
can
they
get some
did.
reinforcements.
Did they?
Nope.
I mean,
Too
I
little,
could have
too
been the
late.
reinforcements, but I'm not there. I'm up here. I'm eating. Obviously.
You left your allies to die.
I mean, they're only allies, like, temporarily, though.
Yeah, we should declare peace right now and take all but one of their territories and be like, yeah, you can have that one. Bye.
I'm actually genuinely considering that.
That might be our best bet right now, honestly. See if we can get everything but their one territory. I'm like, yes.
Like, we can eat this right now, right?
Do it, yeah. Yeah, do it. I'm all for it.
I actually don't think that's a bad deal.
It's not
actually.
a bad deal at all. Yeah, we lost. We didn't get one territory, but
We lost almost no troops.
yeah, exactly.
Our allies, which we are going to fight in the future sometime, lost a lot of troops.
Exactly.
You know what? This sounds like actually like a cool deal.
Yeah.
How
Oh, guys,
about
look at the time. It's brunch. We've got to go. Good luck. Goodbye.
I like how we like very casually. It's like, okay, you know, now you finish fighting. Now I leave. There we go. Now I'm happy.
Yes, we've had one breakfast. But what about second breakfast?
Lately, our people have started to move out of Matrinica. How would you say that? I'm just curious.
Matroniaca?
Okay, then I wasn't too far off.
Yeah.
I think I'm happy about that one. And began spreading out across our lands. It'll be almost impossible to keep our people united if central authority is weak. If we wish to keep our tribes as unified as they have been for a while, we will need to take more active measures. I think we're going to just take, like, our people have always been on the move. It's like we lose one centralization, but it's like, I don't care that much about centralization. It's like, it's slowly ticking upwards, so losing one isn't going to make that much of a change.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be alright. And the other ones is like tyranny or political influence. I don't really want that. So I think we're just going to take the small centralization hit and leave it at that.
Latinized for Roman consumption. That's just a heck of a phrase. Latinized for Roman consumption. It's like pasteurizing milk for homogenized usage.
Is, right?
Oh,
Taxing druids.
Did it break you? Did it break you?
No, the thing is, this whole event was made as a meme by me.
Oh, good.
I'm not sure if you can see it, but yes, it's all based around one pun, and yeah, no, I'm not going to go into it. It's just made for the lols. That's the only reason it's
at this point.
No. I can say it's about this part.
Yeah, I would definitely. Perfect. I love it.
Lately, some of her leaders have started to take advantage of the druids and their role in society, even going as far to expect them to contribute monetarily to the nation. They are the pride and center of her fate, and it is clear this is a taxing situation for them. Talorc is speaking for the druids and demand an end to this abuse of power. Otherwise, how will our relations with the gods pay off? Will this exploitation go on no more, or shall we abuse them? I think we can be nice to them.
Let's be nice.
We get a little bit of that political influence that I wanted.
Yes.
Because, you know, we were sort of going short on that.
taxing situation.
Oh boy, we're actually out of time. I've not noticed until now.
As always, I'm so glad we get to stream and show off this game that we both love. Joachim, as always, you know I love having you on stream, and you are welcome back literally always.